Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. A disturbing and strange ending to another in a long line of disturbingly bad episodes of Friday Night Smackdown is how we ended off tonight's episode. And the follow-up to the Blue Brand's Survivor Series performance did not leave us anything at all to be thankful for, and we're here to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Friday Night Smackdown review and reaction show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, my sledgeheads, thank you for hanging out tonight. I hope you all had a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. If you celebrate the holiday much like me and my family do, I enjoyed my night yesterday. We had all of the traditional stuff that the New Day wanted to talk about tonight. We had the turkey and we had the stuffing and we stuffed our faces full of food, and then we sat on the couch and we were sitting there and being lulled into that post-Thanksgiving dinner slumber that you all know so very well. It felt very much like that same slumber that you felt in the first 40 minutes of tonight's SmackDown Live. You might as well call it SmackDown Live because it doesn't feel any different. It doesn't feel like anything has changed, and it's more of the same old bullshit. We had nearly the first half of this episode of Friday Night Smackdown was focused on the worst, most boring, and uninteresting storyline in all of the WWE, and I'm not even talking about the Bobby Trashley Lana storyline on the red brand. I'm talking about the most boring storyline on the blue brand, which has anything to do with King Dickhead and the big dog, Roman Reigns. This whole open to SmackDown definitely deserves to get a big fat poop hammer. There is nothing redeeming about this. The dialogue and the speech that they used were terrible. Just having to sit through any of this is terrible, but it makes you feel better if at least you're sitting through it in some good clothes. And it's Black Friday. Maybe you got some money to burn, and maybe you want to support your new favorite wrestling show. The Sledgehammer TV logo t-shirt is available, and the exclusive Poop Hammer t-shirt. Don't be afraid about wearing a little bit of poop on your chest. All it's going to do is incite conversation in which you can invite your friends and family and anybody that you know to come and join the Sledgehead Army here with you. Get a Poop Hammer shirt for yourself, for your friends, for your son, for your daughter, for anybody that you think maybe deserves it. And you say, here, I want to hit you in the head with this, but instead I got you this shirt so that everybody knows what you truly are. For whatever reason you want to pick it up, you could pick it up right now at bonfire.com/store/sledgehammer-tv and get your Sledgehammer TV gear right now. That Sledgehammer TV logo t-shirt is available in all professional wrestling colors: Raw Red, SmackDown Blue, NXT Yellow, the black for AEW, and of course, House of Glory Orange. Thank you for dealing with my plug. I got to get it out there because if I don't get it out there, you guys don't know to go buy your gear. It's only going to be there for a limited amount of time, and you can get them today as soon as possible so you can receive them before Christmas. Check out the link in the description below, and I will leave it in a pinned comment up at the top of the comment board. And thank you all for your continued love and support as the Sledgehead Army continues to grow. And if you're new around here, feel free to hit that subscribe button at any time, as we are about to get into the nitty-gritty of this show. And I honestly don't want to talk about any of the Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, poop hammer bullshit nonsense from tonight. I barely paid attention. I barely paid any attention at all. It wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth your time to sit through any of this. We got one of the most insufferable baby faces still being shoved down our throats. I know it doesn't taste as bad as Seth Rollins, but it's, still just like, stop it. Enough with this big dog shit. And now we got the most insufferable heel, the worst King of the Ring that I have ever seen in my life. And it's not because of his goofy Game of Thrones type gear that he decided to have for his kingly garb. It's because it's Baron Corbin. And it's because the guy's got the charisma of a pencil. He can't do nothing on the microphone. He is boring. Everything he says doesn't land. He's been given garbage to speak on television. 5th grade humor and just childish nonsense. Why would you give a shit about Baron Corbin as a king? Nobody takes him seriously. Roman talks down to him all the time. His court is full of a couple of jesters who've been named after a reindeer that leads Santa's sleigh. So I don't give a shit about anything going on with this 3-on-1. Roman's going to be outnumbered all the time, but yet still he's going to find a way to win. And that is the only time I turned my attention to this matchup, which is when I heard the bell ring and I heard banner, big dog, banner, throw up, banner, banner. Same old shit. Just a different day. And instead of it being on Raw, now it's on SmackDown. But essentially it's the same shit we were seeing last year all through Roman Reigns' run on Monday Night Raw. And I don't want to see this shit anymore. And Baron Corbin was even a part of it. It's not even a whole different 3-man team. And so was Dolph Ziggler. It was like Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. Now what we did was substitute Drew McIntyre with Bobby Roode. And it's the same shit. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. And you think I want to give a shit? You think I'm going to care that Roman Reigns speared Bobby Roode through a barricade and then threw the announce table on top of him and Bobby Roode gets taken out on a stretcher, all because Baron Corbin promised that Roman Reigns was going to leave on a stretcher tonight, so turnabout's fair play? What nonsense is this? How many people have we seen put through the barricade by Roman Reigns specifically? We've seen Braun Strowman go through a barricade. We've seen Braun Strowman send people through barricades. You've seen Eric Rowan going through barricades. Drew McIntyre is going through barricades. How many people got wheeled out by a stretcher for that very same spot? Oh, well, he flipped the announce table on. Those announce tables don't weigh shit. That's why they were flipped so easily. That's not what put it over the edge. Oh, we got to get Bobby Roode medical attention. He got a table on his back. Oh, shit, man. Get out of here with this nonsense. Just as nonsensical as the false promises the WWE wants to throw at us. Oh, tonight, Bray Wyatt's going to debut a new face in the Firefly Funhouse. Oh. And everybody's all assuming, oh, we're going to see Liv Morgan come out as the new Abby the Witch, you know, and we're going to see this or we're going to see that. Maybe it's going to be Luke Harper. Maybe Daniel Bryan's going to join. Maybe this, maybe that. You know what the new face of the Firefly Funhouse was tonight? The new mask that they put on the new championship exclusively for The Fiend. Bray Wyatt has an episode of the Firefly Funhouse where he wants to show off his new toy. He got a new toy. It's this blue championship belt. He's literally calling it a toy because that's what it looks like, and that is its purpose, to sell more toys. It looks ridiculous even in the blue, but he says if I get a new toy, he should get a new toy too. And now I got a little bit excited. I'm like, wow, you know, maybe they're gonna do something interesting. And what did they do? They gave The Fiend a new and different and strange looking championship. But man, I'm calling this a fail. I'm calling it a fail. Sure, it's better than some of the other stuff that we've seen. You know, but essentially it's just a giant version of the mask. You want to talk about lazy and uninspired design. I love Tom Savini and I love everything he has ever put out there in the world. He is an icon in the world of horror and makeup and special effects. But the fact that the only thing that they were able to come up with for an exclusive championship for the most unique and different talent in all the professional wrestling right now, to be nothing more than just a big version of the stretched mask over the belt, is lazy. And it's not that it doesn't look cool. It looks a little bit awkward. I mean, all he's doing is walking around with a mask on his shoulder now, The Fiend. He's holding the mask while wearing the mask. I don't hate it. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm not giving it a poop hammer for the belt. And it might actually be better. It's definitely better than the 24/7, hey, look at me, I'm a clown, I don't give a shit, avocado toast, gold-plated championship belt. But I wouldn't want it. I would have been like, really? This is what you come up with? I got all this different iconography surrounding my character. I talk all these weird phrases, and I do all this weird stuff, and you just came back at me with a belt that's just a copy of the mask on my face. Whatever, it is what it is. It's fitting, I guess, to the character. It seems somewhat appropriate, but essentially it is just a stretched out mask over the championship, and they could have done better. We had a matchup between Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak, which was nothing more than a resurgence of 205 Live from its days on Monday Night Raw as well, because this match was not given nearly enough time for anybody to truly give a shit about either of the gentlemen involved. The only thing that I could say is redeeming about it is it puts Mustafa Ali back on the winning track as he gets to defeat Drew Gulak tonight. Who cares? I cared as much about this as I did about Sasha Banks and Bayley's little tirade they had in the ring. Tonight's role of Seth Rollins will be played by Sasha Banks. Since we don't know what the hell to do to make us seem different or make the show feel different or do anything at all different, we're just going to take what we did on Monday. We're going to scale it down to just be about the women's division instead of about the entire roster, and we're going to do what we did with Seth Rollins, but we'll give it to Sasha Banks, and maybe nobody will notice. I noticed, and if you didn't notice, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. And that's why I'm here, to let you guys in on some of the things you might not have seen. It's plain as the nose on your face. They didn't go about it the same way. They didn't have the whole roster out there on the stage listening to Sasha and Bayley berate them, but they went down the entirety of the SmackDown team. They said how the SmackDown ladies were a bunch of losers because of the showing that they put out on Survivor Series this past Sunday, and they're not wrong. Lacey Evans, loser. Meaningless. Nikki Cross has been the stop-start. Who else was on the team? Does it even matter? Carmella. Carmella is exactly what Sasha Banks says she is. She's just a mess. All she does is deliver super kicks. She does one little stupid move different. She does a standing moonsault in the corner, and she wants to get credit. Oh, they say I'm just a super kick person. Yeah, you are. 99% of your offense in that match was nothing but kicking girls in the face. And then you did one other move, and you want credit for that one other move? No, you are what Sasha said you were. You're just a hot mess, and you're not really worth much. So what did Sasha say so wrong? Nothing. Sasha put everybody out on blast, and then Lacey Evans comes out to confront her. And I'm trying to figure out, when did Lacey Evans become a babyface? Why, just because she was on Team SmackDown, that totally aligns her with all of the stars that make her into a babyface? Was it her friendship with Natalya? Is now she's suddenly a babyface? Why didn't they want to explain any of this to us? She's just coming out there, calling Sasha Banks and Bayley a couple of nasties, talking about how she cooked Thanksgiving dinner for 32 people. I don't care. Nobody cares about Lacey Evans. And I don't know what the hell was in the water in whatever the hell city they were in tonight, because these guys at SmackDown started to chant for Lacey Evans, and I'm sitting here going, they must still be drunk from yesterday. Maybe they had a little bit too much eggnog. Maybe they're still drunk from the turkey that they ingested. Maybe they're still half asleep from the tryptophan. Why are they chanting for Lacey Evans? Just a bunch of sheep playing right into the hands of what Vince McMahon wants you guys to do? You didn't give two shits about Lacey Evans a month ago, and we still shouldn't. Why is she still being inserted into main event programs? The girl's done nothing but lose. She's not any good in the ring just yet. I have all the respect in the world for her marine life before professional wrestling, but in between the ropes, the girl still has a lot of work to do. On the mic, she still has a lot of work to do. She's green as grass. She should have never been taken from NXT. Maybe if they left her there, she would have been ready by now to come up, but she still had a lot of polish to put on the fender, and it definitely is not shining like chrome, and she don't deserve to be opposite a Sasha Banks or a Bayley, or still involved in the program in the women's division that's hovering somewhere in and around the women's championship. She's just Charlotte Part 2. Vince McMahon's got a hard-on for her, so Don, you better get my Lacey on there. Get her on the show. Make her a main event. No, thank you. And while we're talking about the women, let's talk about the other women's segment on the night, Mandy Rose versus Nikki Cross. This is a matchup that is being made because Mandy Rose, much like Sasha Banks, feels like the SmackDown team was assembled of a bunch of losers and thought that if Mandy and Sonya were involved, they may have given the edge to Team SmackDown and things would be a little bit differently. They decide they want to exact revenge on just Nikki Cross, so we're going to have this matchup. We started off with one of the cheesiest, so Vince McMahon lines that Mandy Rose could have ever delivered. Oh, look, she looks like a cold plate of Thanksgiving leftovers. Did you think anybody was going to laugh at that? I don't usually do this type of thing. I don't talk bad about people. I don't know why I turned her into Droopy Dog, but that's how I felt listening to that joke, or that's how it hit me. My whole face went because that was just awful. And then that was it. And then they had this ridiculous matchup that I really didn't give a shit about. Nikki Cross gets the win. And then she gets beat down by Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, only to have Alexa Bliss come out to make the save. So now Alexa Bliss is drinking the same punch as Lacey Evans. Apparently Alexa Bliss is a babyface now. She's coming out to bail out her best friend, Bliss Crust Applesauce. Corey Graves, really? You were trying to make that stick? That's their team name? Bliss Crust Applesauce? The fuck out of here. Get out of here with this. And all of this is only happening because of Sunday's Starrcade. We have this meaningless, unimportant pay-per-view happening on Sunday, exclusive on the WWE Network, that I truly believe they're only having still so that AEW can't pick up the trademark on it. And they're using Starrcade once again, a property that is created and owned actually by the estate of Dusty Rhodes, but the trademark currently is under the imprisonment of the WWE. And Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are booked in a fatal 4-way Women's Tag Team Championship matchup for Sunday. Now, it wouldn't have made sense for them to have never shown up as teammates again, right? So they had to get that in there tonight, which was the only reason this entire segment existed, was for little Miss Bliss to have her moment in the fun. And I don't think Alexa Bliss is going to get over as a babyface any more than she got over as a heel. Because people actually loved to hate that broad more than they actually loved to love her. But we'll have to see where that goes. Another thing wrong with this show tonight was the wasting of the Intercontinental Championship and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now you might say, well, the tag team match was good. We got to see the New Day, the 19,000-time tag team champions, versus the incarnation of a team that is now Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura under the guidance of Sami Zayn. And I'm saying to you guys, why not let Shinsuke be the Intercontinental Champion? Give him somebody to fight, give him something to go up against, give him somebody to challenge him for that newly created belt you spent so much money on. But instead we're going to just put him in a meaningless open challenge tag team match for the tag team championships. That makes sense. It's not like we have a whole locker room of tag teams in the back that should have been able to answer that open challenge. Maybe a Heavy Machinery, maybe some, I don't know, what other tag teams are even still on Raw? Who the fuck knows? I don't even really know anymore. All I know is, of course, there's a tag team championship opportunity up for grabs, and we're going to throw a makeshift tag team out there. This recently formed duo of Cesaro and Nakamura, which begs the question, why would you not, if Sheamus is ready for a return, why would you not have had that be the surprise tonight? Maybe you have Sami Zayn come out with Shinsuke and Cesaro, and you have him say all the things he wanted to say tonight, but then right at the end you say, Shinsuke is the Intercontinental Champion, he's His plate's already full, so I went out and found the perfect partner for Cesaro. Out comes Sheamus without the stupid promo showing off his new flat top that really is just the same shit we've been hearing from everybody. Oh, SmackDown's weak. Oh, the roster's weak. I'm going to come and I'm going to beat up everybody. Well, instead of that, why not reform the Bar? Have them go out there and beat the New Day tonight, which now lets Kofi go back down that downward spiral thing he was doing, which was far more interesting than watching him flipping pancakes, seeing him breaking up the pancakes and being all frustrated about losing to Brock Lesnar. This was a more interesting story to tell, and you could have made that happen again. You could have had the New Day lose, you could have had Kofi take the pin, you would have had the Bar back on top, reestablished. We need tag teams, actual tag teams in the tag team division. They're multiple-time tag team champions. There's no reason why this couldn't have worked. And then again, like I said, you have Kofi Kingston now going down this road where he doesn't believe in himself and he's getting frustrated and angry. And Big E's all on his own because Xavier's still out there trying to help trying to help Kofi, but he can't. Would have been a better story. But no, instead we're just doing the same old shit. And we're getting Cesaro eating a pinfall because they have nothing better for him to do. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, you always want new and different, and you're talking about the Bar, bringing back the Bar, that and the Bar versus the New Day. We've seen that 1,000 times, and that's the same old shit. Yeah, well, you know what? The Bar makes sense. In the in the landscape of the WWE where lots of things don't make sense, the Bar staying together and reuniting and taking the championships from the New Day once again, that would make sense right now. Sheamus on his own, what is he going to do? He's going to get lost in this mid-card bullshit that we have to put up with. Right where the Aleister Blacks are and the Andrades are and all of the other mid-card talent that are fantastic and are great in the ring, but are going absolutely nowhere. That's where Cesaro and Sheamus, respectively, are destined to be. Why do you think they ended up pairing Cesaro with Nakamura and Sami Zayn? Because they don't know what the hell to do with him as a singles wrestler. So instead of waiting and holding off and giving him a tag team partner that everybody wants to see him with, somebody he has actual chemistry with, somebody who he has championship experience with, so you could make a case for them getting championship title matchups and winning championships from the New Day, instead of doing any of that, we're going to give Cesaro a new teammate who has his own championship and his whole other own story going on. That makes perfect sense. Let's do that instead. Absolutely ridiculous. This show sucked. And what made it even worse was we're waiting all night for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is going to answer the Fiend tonight. We see him at moments during the show pacing backstage. We keep cutting to Daniel Bryan. We see him talking to The Miz. Once again, we got to insert The Miz in there. The Miz is trying to talk him out of it, telling him SmackDown needs you. Don't do this. You're going to end up changed. You'll never be the same. All night long. Segments from the Firefly Funhouse a couple of times. The whole Muscle Man dance with the Huskus thing, like, it was kind of funny the first time. You know, like, but this time it just seems like, I don't know if they're not trying hard enough or they're trying too hard. I don't know, because that whole thing just kind of took me out of it. I thought it was weird and funny the first time, but here it was just a little too much. Like they were trying too hard. That would be the best way to say how I'm feeling about this whole segment. And we're waiting all night for a new face in the Firefly Funhouse. And every time we see a Firefly Funhouse segment that does not end with the introduction of a new character or person or anything, I'm thinking, well, that belt, that's the new face. The actual face. It's an actual face. He promised us a new face, and there it is. It's a new version of the same face. And then we get to the segment to end tonight's show has Daniel Bryan in it. Daniel Bryan is about to give us his answer. And he talks about the fans and how they kind of changed him during his match with The Fiend. And I don't know if I really liked where this was going either. I feel like returning back to the Yes movement is kind of a lazy thing. I thought he was going to build it up as if he was going to accept it and say, but no, the Yes movement is still dead. That was that Daniel Bryan. And I'm not going to be the planet's champion. I'm going to be your champion and maybe start something new. Get something new over so we don't have to keep hearing the Yes chants all the time and do something new and fresh, because Daniel Bryan could do that. But then when you see the reaction of the crowd and the Yes movement actually happening once again, you have to make a case for the fact that Daniel Bryan is still the most over person probably in the entire company, maybe even more so than Bray Wyatt. He's probably the biggest babyface the company has. He was the heir apparent to John Cena. Vince didn't want to pull the trigger on that because he didn't see Daniel Bryan in that mold, but it's clear the connection with the people that this man has is unparalleled. You cannot get it from anybody else on your roster. So it makes sense to have him up against The Fiend once again. He lost his championship matchup. Why is he just being gifted another one just at the behest of The Fiend, I guess? Because Bray Wyatt wants to fight again. He had fun the first time. He wants to do it again. So we're going to see Daniel Bryan again. Great. Versus The Fiend. And tonight's show ends with The Fiend popping up through the ring after Bray Wyatt mentions, this is almost like they're mocking us. He mentions to us, oh, well, I promised you guys a new face, right? And then he goes on with the segment as if like, well, here it is. And then the lights start going out. And then the lights go red. Bray Wyatt comes up from the ring, pulls Daniel Bryan down, and then starts pulling hair. Just ripping hair, like releasing hair. I don't know if it was from Daniel Bryan or if he had a stuffed teddy bear down there. Maybe it was pieces of Ramblin' Rabbit. I don't know. But what I do know is, I don't want to see a new face on Daniel Bryan. Taking the hair and the beard off of a guy like Daniel Bryan is taking the whole image away. He's just going to come back to the fans and you have this very significant silhouette. You know, it's just a brand that he is. Why would you want to take and ruin his brand? He's the long-haired, long-beard, planet-loving, vegan wrestler. One of the best wrestlers on the planet. You're going to change it? We're going to see a clean-shaven, bald Daniel Bryan because The Fiend ripped his hair out? I don't want to see that. I don't know why you would change Daniel Bryan. That would make no sense. And you didn't come through on your promise to showing us a new face on the Firefly Funhouse. We didn't get nothing new. It's the same shit. It's just strange and disturbing and a weird way to go off the air. How can you expect me to say this show was any good? This show decided to bring back Elias. Oh, I almost forgot. They brought Elias back tonight. And you know what they did with Elias? They had him come out and sing to Dana Brooke. Because Drake Maverick wants to get kisses with a mistletoe. Last I checked, Drake Maverick was still married to that other girl, who he's still waiting to have sex with. He hasn't consummated his marriage, so now he's trying to go get kissy-faced with one of the worst-looking people on the planet. Dana Brooke's not my cup of tea. If this is your first time around here, I'm not very nice about it either. I don't care. The girl just gives me a physical reaction that it's reminiscent of heaving. And I kind of don't understand the mindset of Dave Bautista. And I bring that up just very briefly because if you're following any of this on social media right now, David Bautista is getting at Dana Brooke as if he wants to get in between her Brooks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking maybe Dave needs to get his prescription on his glasses checked because Dana Brooke... you know what? Well, never mind. Before I go too far, never mind. We all know I think she's a walking, talking human sausage, and I just don't understand the appeal I mean, maybe those duck lips can suck chrome off a fender, but I don't want to know about it firsthand. Dave Bautista, more power to you. If you get that, great. Good for you, bro. If that's your thing, good for you. Drake Maverick, why you want to kiss her over everybody else on that roster sitting backstage? I don't know what the hell's wrong with you either, you little twerp. And then this whole segment was all about the return of Elias. And Elias comes out and he sings a little song, and he strums his little guitar, and he sings a little thing, and he says a little that. And if I'm Elias, and they come at me, and they say, "Yo, Eli, we want you to come back on Schmacks tonight. This is what we got for you." And I read the script, and it says, Elias sneaks out from backstage to serenade Dana Brooke while she's trying to be kissed by Drake Maverick. I would have told you guys, you know what? I'll wait till next week. You got to come up with something better than that, because this is just sending me back down the trash heap. Awful. Absolutely awful. Another terrible edition of Friday Night Smackdown brings this holiday weekend not to an end. It's not over yet. We got 2 more days in the weekend, but it brings Smackdown Live for this week to an end, and it doesn't bring us any thanks. I have nothing to be thankful for from the WWE, except for the fact that they give me a piece of shit show like this to bring the hammer down on and provide my sledgeheads with quality, entertaining content that the WWE no longer knows how to produce. So once again, thank you all so very, very much, especially during this weekend where the whole purpose is to give thanks for everything. I haven't been having the best year. Physically challenging, mentally challenging. The House of Glory training is probably not going to continue. My body is just not cut out to do what it needs to do. I'm just a little past my prime, and there's a lot of things to hate about the year of 2019, but I am thankful for my experiences in House of Glory. I'm thankful for still being a part of the company, for still, getting to know all of the talent that I've gotten to know over the last year, and being in the ring with the Amazing Red and trained by those guys. I have a lot to be thankful for, and one of the most important things to be thankful for is the health of my wife and daughter, and of course, the health of every one of you guys who come here to me every single week to enjoy a little bit of something about wrestling, since the WWE fails on that so many times. And I can't thank you guys enough, because seemingly all I have in the world right now is each and every one of you, and this channel means the world to me, and you guys mean everything to me. And without you guys, as I tell you guys every so often, without you, I'm just a crazy guy from New York City talking into a camera, and that makes me fit to be tied into a straitjacket and into a loony bin, because if there's nobody out there, then I'm just absolutely psycho. So I appreciate every one of you a whole lot more than you ever know. And if I ever take a little bit too long to ever get back to you guys, or hit up on the comment section or something, I apologize for that as well. Just know, life sometimes gets in the way, and, it's not an excuse, but it is a fact. And with that being said, I love each and every one of you, and I just wanted to take this moment at the end of this episode, on this very apropos moment, being that it's Thanksgiving weekend, to give you guys a heartfelt thank you, tell you guys what I'm a little bit thankful for. I'm thankful for everything I have, and for everything that I've been given this year, especially all of you guys. So if you guys enjoyed today's show, if you agreed with anything I had to say, if you want to pick yourself up a Poop Hammer t-shirt, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are notified. Hit that notification bell here, and turn it on your phones as well if you've been using the YouTube app on your phones. And then make sure you hit the like button, smash that thumbs up. It helps this video gain traction and get out there and get more views, so that we can continue to grow the family larger and larger and larger. And you could also help support doing that by sharing this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they need to know everything wrong with tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Don't forget to pick up your Poop Hammer t-shirt right now. December 7th, I believe, is the last day to get your hands on it. Take advantage right now. Bonfire.com/store/sledgehammer-tv. Pick and choose whichever shirt you want in whichever color you want. It is all up to you. Then you can hit me up on social media, on the Twitter, on the Gram, on the Facebook page of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and share with me you wearing your awesome threads as a full-fledged supporter of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show family. Thank you guys. Don't forget to check out everything else on the channel. We skipped AEW and NXT this week due to the holiday getting in the way. Like I said, family comes before everything. So, family time. I hope you guys enjoyed yours. I enjoyed mine. Probably a whole lot more than I enjoyed both of those shows. They were both good. They weren't bad shows, but I definitely needed to take a little bit of a step back. I was feeling a little burnt out, and the family time is exactly sometimes what you need to do that. We saw Frozen 2 today. I brought the family to see Frozen 2. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a great way to cap off Thanksgiving so that I can be recharged and ready to go and have to sit through tonight's awful Smackdown. I would have much rather watched Frozen 2 for a second time, even though it cost me $70 just to get in the door for a family of 3. That's enough jibber-jabbing. Thank you guys once again for being here with me. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the team Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball. The most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com. Have a good one.